Take a moment to feel yourself in sitting. How are you sitting? What do you notice? Where's your attention going? What's your contact with the seat at the moment? Can you sense your two sitting bones? In this lesson, we're going to play with the way we're sitting and see whether we can get more contact through our sitting bones. So come and sit at the front of your stool or chair and start rolling your pelvis a little bit forward and a little bit backwards and see. So you can take your whole self a little bit forward and backwards. And can you feel two bones? What do you feel? Can you feel your rolling? For some of us, they're quite prominent. For other people, they're more hidden. So what do you feel? And you might feel that as you roll back, your back rounds a little bit as if you're slouching. And as you roll forward, you come and sit straighter up. So go slowly. Be interested in what happens on that process of rolling a little bit forwards and a little bit backwards. What's happening with your breathing? When is it easier to breathe? Is it when you're rounding your back or when you're more straight? And then leave that, pause. Now, find out, could you lift one sitting bone? So could you lift one side of your bum? Yes, and how do you do it? And you let it return. So you lift it. So what you will feel probably is that your weight starts shifting onto your other sitting bone. Can you feel that? So go slowly. That's it. You, you lift the sitting bone and then you let it return. And then you wait and see, can you let your breath be free? Or do you notice that you stop your breath as you lift your sitting bone? It can be most interesting to notice when we stop our breath. Is it when we try something new or when we find something hard? Now leave that. Bring your sitting bone back. Bring your attention to your right foot. So let's start. Let's see. No, you have no. Just keep lifting the sitting bone that you chose to lift. Well, maybe there's a reason why you chose this particular side, and start feel how you're using your foot, how you can allow the force to come through your foot into that sitting bone. Which part of your foot are you using? Is it more the heel? Is it more the front of the foot? Put your foot in a different place and feel, does that change? The foot that you're on the side that you're lifting the sitting bone. See if you put it in a different place, a little bit more out to the side. How does that feel? And do you then start using a different part of the foot? You can use the heel, the front of the foot, the side of the foot. What are you doing? And are you taking yourself, is your head going also to the other side? Or is something happening in your ribs? And leave that. Now place the hand on the side of the sitting bone that you've been lifting. place your hand on top of your head. So it's on the same side of the sitting bone that you've been lifting. I see one of you taking the opposite hand. Take the same side. And then take your elbow, have your elbow out to the side, and start taking your elbow a little bit down towards the floor. And you take your head with that. Yeah, that's it. So sideways, you take the head sideways. Have your elbow out to the side, and you take your head not over to the other side, but to the same side. So you take your elbow towards the floor, in the direction of the floor, not towards the ceiling, but in the direction of the floor. That's it. And one of you is already combining it with the lifting of the sitting bone. You can all start doing it. One of you is playing with the wrong side. Or the wrong side, the opposite side to the one where you were lifting the sitting bone. So lift the same side sitting bone at the same time as you take your head also to the side. Can you feel that? So it's not one after the other. Just pause, have a pause. Bring it all down. So as we combine these movements, see whether you can, at the same time as you take your head to the side, you start pushing a little bit through the foot to lift that side of the sitting bone. And then bring your attention to your ribs and see what happens there. So try it again. Have your elbow really to the side. That's it. Can you feel that the side of where you're going to, where you're taking your head to, and of the sitting bone that's lifting, can you feel that your ribs are shortening on that side? And the ribs on the other side are lengthening. Can you feel that? That's it. You're like an accordion. When one side shortens, the other simply has to lengthen. Now leave that. Bring your arm down and rest. How you're sitting now? Does one sitting bone feel a bit more prominent than the other one? Does your attention go to one more than to the other one? Start playing with the other side. So first, you start lifting that sitting bone, and you let it return. You lift, let it return, and then you stop. Now, why do we stop between the movements? It's so that your attention has time to gather momentum. If you start doing a repetitive movement, your attention will go somewhere else. Now every movement can be new. And this is something that we can all apply in our instrumental practice. Why repetitive practice isn't very fruitful. You feel the difference if you do a repetitive movement and if you really allow yourself to stop between the movements, do it again and be curious. Yeah, your curiosity might go to a different part of you. Where can you do less? Is it in your breathing? Are you holding something in your hands? Your jaw? It can be, you can spread your attention, and every time you do it, your attention can go somewhere else. And you start playing with it, and it's your curiosity that's going to make the difference. And that's the same in your instrumental or vocal practice. Leave that. Feel how you're sitting now. And then place the same side hand on top of your head. And start taking your head sideways to the same side of the side that you've been lifting. And feel, how is it on this side? How is it? Do it maybe first only the head so that you feel what's happening in your ribs. And can your weight already shift as you're just taking your head to the side? Can you feel the weight shifting to the opposite sitting bone? You feel what happens in your ribs, separating the movements from one another so your attention can be fresh. That's great. And now combine that. See how you can synchronize taking your head to the side and lifting that sitting bone. Here you go. Every time bringing your attention to a different place of yourself, or noticing where you stop your breath. Notice what you feel. All the sensations. We are really working with sensations rather than figuring things out with our intellect. It's our sensations that inform us, and then leave that and rest. Maybe walk around your room and come back to sit on the seat. A change is as much of a rest as a rest in the same place. And that's another thing that is so vital in practice, is as soon as we feel our attention isn't there, to not plow on, but give us ourselves even a 10 seconds break by getting up, by looking out of the window, just something else. Why? Because our brain needs to process what we've been working on. So feel how you're sitting now on your chair. Now place the back of your hands on the seat under your bum so that you can feel with the palms of your hands, you can feel your sitting bones. Yeah, might be a bit uncomfortable. Can you feel them? So roll a little bit forwards and backwards, as we did at the beginning of the lesson. Do you now have more of a sense of having two sitting bones? And what happens? Can you feel them rolling forwards and backwards? As they go back, do they become wider, further away from each other? And as you roll forwards, do they come a bit closer? Now take your hands out and feel. Maybe you have even more of a sense of these two bones. Come to stand in front of your chair. Oh, where you were, just come to stand and stay where you were. So where you were sitting. Then go and sit again on your chair. And then come to stand and stay there. That's it. Now in standing, can you find your sitting bones? So you'll have to put your hands, you might have to search where they are. So they're big bones that you can feel. They're quite central. It took me a while to find them the first time I did it. Under the pleats of your buttock. Now, a bit lower maybe. Yeah. And now, holding your sitting bones, very slowly come down towards sitting on your chair and feel what happens with the sitting bone as you come down. Can you feel that they open? And do that a few times and feel especially that last bit of sitting down. What happens there? Yeah, that last bit, can we control that? Because what happens can you feel that as you come down, your sitting bones move away from one another? Now, what happens with many of us is that that last bit, we actually plop down and they go closer to one another again. So feel what happens for you. And then next time you come to sit, stay there whilst I tell you a little story. So imagine it's a beautiful summer day, as it is at the moment in the UK. It's a Sunday, many train cancellations, as we know. So you're on a train, and two trains have been put together. You're trying to get home. Train is very, very full. You need to go to the loo. So you know what that means on an overfull train. The loo is disgusting. So come to stand again. And now bring yourself down towards that imagined dirty loo seat, but you stay above it. You hover above the loo seat. And then you go a little bit side to side. You hover from side to side. Can you feel that? You stick your anus out and your sitting bones are very wide. And then bring yourself to sitting. And how are you sitting now? You feel it's different? Maybe lift one sitting bone and then the other sitting bone. Go from side to side. For pianists amongst you, that's a very helpful thing to do. Next, sit in the middle. Now bring your hands to an imaginary keyboard. It can be computer keyboard. Yeah. Feel the weight of your arms and then bring them down. And now turn your hands so that the palms are facing the ceiling. Have them on your thighs. Now bring them up towards the height of your imaginary keyboard, and then you flop them around. So then turn the palms around so the palms are down. So yeah. Can you feel a difference? Maybe do it a few times. What's lighter? Or do it again how you did it in the beginning. Feel the difference? A subtle difference. But as you lift them, then turn them around to feel that difference, because you want to be still imagining that you're playing a keyboard. And if you're a pianist here, you could now start playing your piano in the air, lifting one sitting bone as you go to the top octaves, lifting another sitting bone as you go down. That's it. Feel how your ribs are responding. One side opens up. There you go. Have your hands at the height where your keyboard would be. That's it. And then sit in the middle again and feel yourself. If you got a better sense of your sitting bones, are you sitting differently from when we started? Walk around your room and feel also, do you feel your legs are supporting you in a different way now? And then I'll stop the recording now.